Okay folks, what we have here, it's a Sparta CS-45 USA. And this is a New Britain design. And they sold these under a lot of different names. Pencraft, Husky, and New Britain had their own model of the same Ratchet. So you'll find this under various names, but I think Husky is the most prolific. You find a lot of Huskies in this design. Okay, and it has a very small head for a 1/2-inch drive. Just for comparison, here's a SK 1/2-inch, and you can see them side by side. See how big the SK is compared to this New Britain design. Okay, alright, let's see what's inside. Take the snap ring here, compress it. Oh, there we go. And you have the ring there. Okay, you just take this out, and there's the cap for the switch. This looks like a cast cap. That's what it looks like. It's like a cast piece. Put that there. And this is the inside. You see the teeth. This has about 40 teeth. And there goes the cutout for the snap ring. And the teeth just go like halfway in between both sides. Okay, here's the mechanism. That's what it looks like. I think this is probably the more coarse one, because they have like I think they have a pawl and a mechanism with more teeth. This might be the coarse model, but it just switches back and forth like that. The pawl rides on like a spring and just floats. And there is a pronounced click when you go back and forth, and you can feel it. It's nice and tight. So you probably won't have much problems with this mechanism, like switching when you don't want it to. Okay, to take this apart, you have another snap ring here in the middle, and I'm gonna turn it around a little bit, and most likely this is gonna fly out of my hands, but let's take a chance and see if it won't this time. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I caught it. That's the little ring that holds the two plates, the switching plates for the mechanism. Okay, and this mechanism has like two plates for the switching. That's the top plate. That's what it looks like. It has a hole for the switch spring there. You put one of the prongs from the spring through that hole. And it has this detent here, I guess, for the switch to catch. Put it there, so when you switch it, it catches on that. Alright, that's the top switch plate. And you have this bottom switch plate and the spring for the switch. Okay. That's what it looks like. On the bottom side, you see the spring. It sticks through the hole there. One of the prongs for the spring, and then it goes through this cutout, the other prong, and then that connects. You put that other prong onto the top switch plate to get that switching action. And here's the pawl. The pawl rides like this, and it floats on the spring. This is what the pawl looks like. And they machine these two raised parts in, so you can only put it in one way. You know which way every time it goes in, because those two raised sections point out towards the switch. And that cutout in the switch goes in between those raised sections for the switching action. There's the pawl. And the only thing left is this little spring that goes into its hole that floats the pawl. And here's your housing mechanism and your anvil. See, the anvil looks way big for this small mechanism. This mechanism looks like more like a 3/8 size than a 1/2 inch drive size. See how big the anvil is compared to the mechanism? I mean the housing for the mechanism. And the small snap ring snaps into that groove there. Okay, to put this back together, put the spring back in the hole, put the pawl on top, set it down, grab your bottom switch plate. Here's the spring, by the way, for the bottom switch plate. Okay, you take the bottom prong of the spring, you put it through the bottom hole, and the other prong, you just thread it through that cutout like that. Okay. And the spring should sit pretty well in there. It usually won't fall out. Okay, and then you put the switch plate cut out in between those two raised sections of the pawl. My hair there. You take your top plate, switch plate, and you try to get the spring. Oops. Try to get the other prong for the spring in the hole. There. For that section. And then looks like we had a problem there with the pawl. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, there you see the two prongs for the spring going through both plates. Make sure this lip of the top plate goes into the mechanism there, and it rides inside of it. Okay, and here's the hard part, is getting this little snap ring to fit in there. I got another screwdriver. Okay. Just gotta push it in. Oh, there we go. Alright. So the pole is floating, and the switch, it should be switching back and forth. Good. Okay, that's good. And what's left is just to put the cast switch on top, and drop it back in the mechanism. Drop the mechanism back into the body, the housing, and you get your snap ring back. Snap ring back into that groove. And there you go. Switch it back and forth. Working. Okay, so that's the Sparta CS-45, made in USA. If you like these videos, please give me a like, and if you want, subscribe. It helps me out. Okay? Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bye.